Hi, I'm Stacy.
And I'm Nicole, and we're doing a Passion Time project together.
The Passion Time project is about music genres, and so we wanted to learn a lot about different genres of music. Some include jazz, country, pop, rap, blues, opera, rock, and soul. So we studied a little bit about them, and
We didn't pick every genre that there existed. We just picked a few of the most popular genres that kids knew. So down here, it just explains things about our website. Here, we're doing a bracket. So, Stacy, explain.
And so in our bracket, what we do is we're taking about 6 or 7 kids from our class, and we're gonna, for example,
down here,
it tells the examples.
Yeah, it explains how our bracket works.
So we take 6 to 7 students to test out various different genres of music. And so we test out different songs. So say we're doing rock against soul, then we would give a little sample of a rock song and a soul song, and we would say which one they like better, and then that genre would move on until we go to the end, and then that determines what the favorite genre is in our class.
Also, before we test them on the music, we'll tell them a little about each genre. So if we were going to test them, so jazz is going against country. So we would go to jazz, and we tell them, well, jazz has been around for the 19th or 20th century, and we just kind of summarize this whole thing.
So pretty much, like Nicole said, So pretty much what, like Nicole said, before we test out the music, we give them like a little paragraph of what jazz is about,
and then we do the same thing with country and then so on. Yeah.
And so we can read maybe a little bit from each one. And so for jazz,
I know that it was originally invented in
by African Americans.
Wait, I was gonna say it was originally invented in it was invented by African Americans, but in the U.S. So when they were when they got out of slaves and stuff, they a most popular musician was Louis Armstrong.
And the words cool and hip were usually jazz terms. So if someone said that's totally hip, that would be kind of jazzy. Yes, you know.
So popular music, which is also pop. It's kind of so pop music is abbreviation of popular music. So it would kind of mean if you used a term like that, that would mean the song is really popular.
It's usually a favorite. I know it's on the radio a lot, and there's lots of different songs that everyone listens to, and it's really fun to dance
along. So pop is kind of hip and cool. Popular is what it really means, but pop is just an easier way of saying it, and it's
And I thought it was really cool to learn the abbreviation for popular music. I never knew it was like that.
Yeah, neither did I.
And so a little bit about country as well. It has people have more of an accent. People who sing country music, they're usually from the West. So if you go to South Carolina or North Carolina, that's probably the kind of music you'll hear.
And you notice that there are lots and lots of different types of singers that are popular.
Such as Luke Bryan, Blake Shelton.
And then there are a lot of different groups that are popular because on the radio, sometimes even when it doesn't have to be on a country radio. Sometimes, like I said, on the pop radio, on where they play pop music, sometimes there will be some songs by country singers because they're really popular.
And the instruments used in pop in country music, they include banjos, electric and acoustic guitars, fiddles, and harmonicas. So usually those kind of instruments, it has a nice country kind of tone to it. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, so a little about rap. Rap was kind of hard for us
because it's not the cleanest kind of music, but there are some music kids who sing rap.
So rap is an also popular type of genre. So it's also played on the station where they play pop. Hold on. What I noticed is a lot of the different genres are always played on the same radio, which is the radio where they most usually play popular music.
And rap also stands for rebellious African people, and I thought that was really interesting because I didn't know rap stand for something. I thought it was just like, hey, let's name this rap, but like rap, it includes fast singing or talking. Like, if you hear, just say like Sally ate pie fast, and like some beatboxing included in it, that would be some really cool rap music. So.
Okay, so again, that one was kind of hard.
And then next we have blues, and blues music is kind of similar to like jazz, kind of like blues was originated by the African Americans as well.
Just like jazz, so they kind of, a lot of these soul and rock and blues and jazz have one thing in common. A lot of the popular music was born and originated by African Americans and in the U.S. because African Americans were like slaves.
Yeah, like Nicole said, its inventors were people who were slaves. So, like, that's another thing that Nicole said. So, blues is full of African American traditions, and some instruments are guitar, bass guitar, and piano. So the blues has like a nice beat to it, and it's really catchy too. Next, we have opera, and opera is usually like dramatic kind of music. So
kind of about, I thought it's kind of about like your life, kind of like, so if you're having like a time where you're kind of having a rough time right now, then opera is usually about that. And sometimes it's usually in like a different language.
And opera can be in any different language, like Nicole said. An opera is where singers and musicians perform dramatic work, combining text called libretto, and it's kind of has like a little raspy like tone into it. So like when a person sings, they go oh, so it's just like it just goes up and down, kind of like the music is vibrato. It just switches from low to high, kind of.
It kind of, like what Stacy said, it switches. It also switches a lot because of the emotion in the song.
Yeah.
So if it's like about like someone, kind of like a tragedy that happened, then the voice will change. Like if it's about like a happy moment, it'll be upbeat and happy. But if it's about like sad, it'll kind of be low and more emotional, and
like
you can
Nicole
hear
said,
it.
like Nicole said, I think opera is actually a really unique kind of kind of music or art.
This is Carrie, please call the office. This is Carrie, please call the office.
Sorry. It includes many like scenery. Like sometimes when someone's telling a story, they're singing opera. So like if you're talking about like someone running, they'll go from like low to high and start singing faster.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes people use costumes as well and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And scenes.
So the next one is rock. I know my family is a really big rock fan. My dad grew up listening to it a lot because his dad loved it. So my family loves rock and roll and stuff. So it's kind of a genre that fits in as rock and roll. It's the same thing, but it's mostly known as rock.
Don't shut the door.
Rock is rock. You usually hear people screaming a lot when they're singing rock, like whoa, like it's like a really fun kind of music.
And
like
rock,
people enjoy doing it.
Rock usually isn't like emotional. It's kind of like
it's kind of just letting out your feelings, like yeah,
like your good feelings. Like rock people, like I mean I'm not saying there aren't like rock songs that aren't slow. I mean there are tons of them, but rock usually is about like expressing your happy feelings. And it's usually upbeat and happy. It's something that
and
gets you like
you usually hear like the
mood.
Drums and like electric guitars.
It gets you in like a good mood.
Yeah, and like you feel all pumped up after you listen to it.
Yeah.
Last we have soul. There are many soul singers that are famous, like Usher, like he's part soul, and so is like John Legend and stuff. So like soul is popular, and it was also made by African American gospel. So it's more like about God, kind of. It's more like what the African American
kind of
what they believe in, and so it's letting out your feelings as well. And it's like a combination of R&B, so you can have some rap.
So it's like rhythm, blues, and gospel.
And I forgot to mention about rap. There was it's like includes R&B, so like there's like lots of hip hop like dancing and stuff in it too.
Yeah. So it was also it contains a lot of African American like traditions and feelings. Like sometimes they would have traditions, and it would be playing African music and soul
And
music.
it's like includes gospel too, like I said before. It's like really an emotional kind of music as well for like African Americans.
Okay, so the last thing we have is favorite picks. So this is the music that we're
Testing our kids in our class from the bracket, and so for jazz,
hold on, it's kind of slow.
So they're like different songs that we're including.
So we picked 2 songs for each category,
genre.
and for rap, it was kind of different because we had to pick a song from
So we picked a rap song from Disney Channel
and then we picked another rap song
from like a little kid who sings it.
yeah.
And so here are some. So for jazz we have Sing Sing Sing, and it's like a nice little jazzy song, and we have
It's kind of
Feeling
like,
Good,
and we got Feeling Good by
Nina Simone.
and then down here is country. So the Say You Do song by Derek Bentley is kind of like a popular one. And then the Little Red Wagon my friend likes a lot. Stacy likes it a lot.
I really like it. It's really, I think
It's an upbeat song.
I like how a country is kind of like telling like a story, like what happened today. It's like more like party kind of music, and you'll listen to it a lot in summer or like something like that.
And then pop, these are like popular songs. I know Shake It Off has been like really popular. Well, when it first came out, it was really popular here at like our school and stuff.
And we have another song, One Way or Another by One Direction. And so I think these songs are like really upbeat, and they're like fast, and they're like one way, like you like can clap along and listen to it, and you'll really learn to love pop once you listen
So
to it.
here's rap. So we couldn't really put any songs that were like, we couldn't really find any songs that were like
From a
appropriate.
famous
from
rap
a famous
person?
rapper.
So we put from Lemonade Mouth, we put Determinate. So I think many of you know Lemonade Mouth, and
then
it's like just the guy, he's rapping, he's like talking really fast. So we thought that was cool to include.
yeah, and then Maddie B Raps. I'm pretty sure everyone knows of him. He
Just a little
He
kid who likes
covers-
to rap
and he covers a lot of popular songs
and makes them clean.
yeah.
And then for rock, we have You and I by One Direction. It's like kind of like a slow rock song.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, there can be some slow rock songs. But there
And
aren't
this
very many.
kind of determines rock from the instruments it's using. So it's not like
And
completely.
then we've got the Chuck Berry Johnny B. Good song. And I know I've heard it before, it was really popular, but I haven't heard it in a while.
And so it has like a nice little beat to it as well. For soul, we put Glory. It's about African American, like you know how like people didn't treat them as well. It's more about how the war, it's like over, and like when the glory comes, it'll be theirs. So we thought that was something really good to put in for a song. And for another one, there's Ain't No Mountain High Enough, and we think that was a really popular song as well, so that's why we put it in.
Yeah, so that's kind of our website. If you want to go check it out, it's called Genres with 2 S's .weebly.com.
And we got this idea to do this because we really like listening to music, and we thought maybe let's do something fun this time, and so that pretty much just summed up what we learned. So
yeah.
I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.